everybody? This is Louis Shine. Welcome back to another episode of InterviewU. I am your host, and I have a special guest today. My boy Selah Brooks is in the building. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, big dog? Yo, thanks for having me on,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I appreciate it. We're going to get into everything today.
We're going to get into it all, man. So very excited to have you. We connected, man, some time ago, man, actually at an event, entrepreneur event. No matter of fact, it was the event for Christmas in Crown Point.
Yep.
And we connected there, man. Just kind of love what you're doing and had just a spirit, about how you just move, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what really attracted me to you. And then we just connected from there. We've been connected ever since, man. So I really appreciate, just your drive, especially on things of entrepreneurship and just you got a good spirit about yourself, man. So I'm excited to get into things today, man. So we'll get started, man. Let's tell us a little bit about yourself, man, where you're from, man, how you came up, and let's go from there.
All right, bet, most definitely. So I originally grew up in Cleveland, Cleveland, Ohio. So I remember
the land.
Yeah, man. So when we was talking in Christmas, I asked you where you from. You said, I don't want to mispronounce it. Is it Lima?
Lima,
Ohio.
Lima, my second home.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with that. Like living in Cleveland, you get people who come from there and they live there. So and Lima not too far from Cleveland, right? And so but I grew up there, man, with my mom for like the majority of the time. So my mom and dad, they got divorced when I was 3.
Gotcha.
So I grew up in a household, man, single mom, 6 kids, and it was rough. It was rough, man. And the one thing I tell people is that I don't look at any of those things as like hindrances, bro. Like everything that I went through with my mom, growing up in Cleveland, inner city schools, and growing up in the hood, man, all those things was life lessons. Yeah. And so, dude got beat up a lot in school. I got bullied a lot in school. My name was Selah, so it's not like, and we moved around a lot. So I was always the new kid. So I had problems. And so when I was about 9 years old, I ended up moving to Mobile, Alabama with my dad.
Mobile. Yeah. I know about Mobile.
Yeah, I moved in with my dad in Mobile, right? And so this is where I first seen entrepreneurship, right? So it was 2009. It was the economy was horrible at the time. So it's me, my little brother, my little sister, my dad, his wife, and her 2 kids, right? We all down there in the apartment, and my dad came home, and I overheard him talking about how he got laid off from his job, right? I don't know what that means. But what my dad did was he actually started selling DVDs. Oh. Right? And so it was so cool to see it because he would have this whole system going on, man. He would have the CD, he would be burning them. It'd be like these big old things. And they sound like fans going on in there. I'm like, Dad, what is those? Man, those is computers. Yeah. They all had these little racks where you put CDs in them. So, man, he'll burn the CDs. And then he'd be like, all right, son, I need you to watch all these movies and make sure the quality good, make sure everything's good. So, to me, I'm having fun, bro. Because I love movies. So we would watch the movies, right? We'll say, Dad, this one was good quality, this one was good quality, this one was bad quality, so on and so forth. And then he would take the ones with good quality. He'd go out. And then we didn't see him till nighttime. And then he would come back and we would redo the process, right? And so as a kid, I would tell people life is all about perspective, right? As a kid, I'm just having fun with my dad, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I'm just watching movies. Yeah. When I got older and he started to tell me, he was like, nah, man, that's how we ate because I ain't have a job. Yeah. So look, man, during that time, we went to the movie theaters almost every weekend because we was literally watching movies, right? They were going to the movie theater. We went to the water park. Man, we had groceries. Like you couldn't tell that he didn't have a job because how he was out there hustling. Yeah. And so I was like, man, that's crazy. He going out there and making buku money. Yeah. Pushing the DVDs. I also learned during that time is that it's always competition, and you can't be scared to compete. Right. He wasn't the only one out there pushing it. A lot of people got laid off during that time. So what my dad would do is, he would put his number, like when you put the CD in, it'd say Marv's Movies, and it have his phone number on it. So if you need more, you'll call him, right? Other people, they was like, man, they couldn't figure out how my dad was getting such good quality HD type movies. So they was like, look, man, I'd love to buy the movies from you, right? And my dad was like, okay, you can buy the movies from me. So he would sell them the movies. These people got mad because they found out that even though they were selling the movies, he had already watermarked his number and his name on the movies, right? And so they was getting mad. And the dude, my dad told me, the man went looking for him at the barbershop my dad usually sell in, right? And he was like, man, you tell him this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the third, boom, 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 right? So my dad was like, son, during that time, you know, I had to realize, man, this ain't big enough for everybody, right? So he was like, you tell him I'll be on this corner at this time. And he's like, man, I hit my pistol with me because you trying to take food out of my family mouth. It can't be big enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
That's how far people are willing to go, you know, growing up in that kind of environment. Because like, man, hey, man, everybody can't make it, right? And like I said, all those things that I learned was lessons. But you can't be scared to compete. You got to go out there and compete. And what you doing, somebody else is going to be doing it too. Exactly. And so, you know, like this is how I experienced entrepreneurship. I thought it was super dope, right? Anytime my dad did not have a job, you couldn't tell he didn't have a job because he always sold something. So I tell people from Cleveland, this is where I got the grit, right? Because you got to be a dog to grow up there, right? Mobile, Alabama is where I learned how to hustle from because you got to have a hustle, right? We end up moving to Atlanta, Georgia. This is where I get the charisma, right? People in A, all of them know how to talk. They all know how to network. They all know how to socialize. You know what I mean? Like you can't be down there and not knowing how to have a conversation with people. Everywhere I went that I moved to, I always picked up a skill. And that's how I became, you know, really well-rounded. And I thank God for that because now in my life, dude, when it comes to the grit, I got it. If I got to turn my hustle up, I know exactly how to do that. If I got to go and be charismatic, I got to know how to talk to people, get my network on, I know how to do that. And each of those seasons in my life was lessons. Right? And so around the time where I was 15 to 16, man, I was fighting all the time. Right? Because I moved back to Cleveland with my mom. And again, my mom, she worked 3 jobs and we was always really poor. So man, dude, people don't understand how hard it is to grow up in these schools. You get roasted. Everybody
I remember them days of roasting.
Yeah, man, they'll roast you. And like I said, so I woke up one day and I was like, man, you know what? I can't take it no more. Because I grew up being scared of everybody because I was bullied all the time. So like, since I would go to school and then they'll beat me up. Then I got in the fights, and now I'm going home getting whooping, so I'm scared of my parents. I'm scared of people at school. I was like, man, I'm not about to walk around fearing anybody no more. So I woke up, I said, man, you know, if somebody disrespect me, we fighting. If you look at me wrong, we fighting. I might as well fight back. Right? And so I went through this phase of my life, man, with just a lot of like aggression and pain and anger and all this stuff. And one day my granddad told me, he said, man, you know, you're going to end up in a box or in the dirt. You know, like, so you got to change. I ended up moving from Cleveland. I moved back with my dad, and we live in Lafayette, Indiana. And this is, again, where I found entrepreneurship. So I actually had a candy business in high school. So I was like, Dad, I want to go to prom. He was like, well, you know, son, you is getting to the age where you got to start trying to learn how to make your own money. So if you want to go to prom, you're going to have to figure out how to pay for it. So he gave me $10, right? This is all I can put towards your prom. I took that $10 and I went to the candy store and Dollar General and I bought a whole bunch of candy. So I went to school the next day and I started to realize that like, man, I can really make a lot of money selling candy because I just flipped it. You get all dollar bags. So I was selling I was selling Jolly Ranchers for 10 cents and I had chips, all this other stuff, right? This is where I learned how to communicate value at a young age, right? So check this out, dog. I was going to school and I would be like, hey, man, you know, I'm selling Jolly Ranchers for 10 cents. Nobody would buy them. Like, man, that's a deal, man. What, people tripping? And so in sales, if you're not getting the results that you want, a lot of times you have to take self-accountability. You're the problem. And if you do self-accountability, you raise your level of understanding and you can figure out what the problem is. Because a lot of times people just put it on the customers. Oh, they being cheap. They don't want to buy nothing. They being funny acting. But it's all about communicating value. And so I figured it out. I had cracked the code, Lewis. So the next day, I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, why ain't people buying these Jolly Ranchers? I know it's a good product. People eat them all the time. I love Jolly Ranchers. It ain't the product, bro. It's you. How are you explaining this to people? And I had figured it out. But when you're walking around, nobody got 10 cents in their pocket. You know what I mean? Nobody got a dime in their pocket. So I went to school, bro, and I was like, hey, I'll give you 10 Jolly Ranchers for $1. Next thing you know, I was sold out of my Jolly Ranchers in the first hour. because one, it sounds like you're getting a deal. 10 Jolly Ranchers for $1.
Yeah, deal.
But really, 10 dimes is $1.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so it's all about how you say things. So I had picked up the skill of how to communicate value. Then I also learned during that time of my entrepreneurship, not only did I have a candy business, I also had a landscaping business. Because I'm trying to make money around the clock.
Yeah.
I'm in school for 8 hours. What about the time I'm not in school? I'm not gonna make any money, and I'm darn sure ain't working at Wendy's for $7.25. So what I learned at 15, I learned a valuable lesson. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, you do not need everything to get started. So I had a landscaping business, right? So me and my buddy, we'll go around and we start cutting people's grass. So I would knock on the door, boom, boom, boom. Hey, sir, me and my buddy, we run a landscaping business, and I see that your grass is really tall. Look like you need somebody to cut it for you. Okay, cool. And then the dude would be like, all right, well, what do you charge, young man? I charge $15 for the front, $15 for the back. He like, that ain't bad at all. I agree. I don't think it's bad at all, right? And so he'd be like, oh, I'm like, okay. And then I asked him, I was like, so, hey, how come your grass ain't cut? He was like, well, I got a lawnmower, but, man, sometimes I just don't have the time. I work, I'm tired and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, that's all right, bro. That's why I'm here. I'm here. So I was like, well, I would love to do it for you. And so he would give me the $30. He's like, well, when can you get started? I'm like, I can get started right now. He gave me the $30, right? Then I turned around like, hey, bro, can I use your lawnmower, right? I did not have a lawnmower for my lawn care company. And he looked at me crazy, Lewis. He was sitting here, he was like, man, how the hell you running a lawn care company and you ain't got a lawnmower? And I was like, I don't need a lawnmower to run a landscape or a lawn care company. It's a service-based business, sir. As long as I can provide the service, I can have a business. I just need the equipment, right? You looking at me crazy because I'm running a lawn care business and I don't got a lawnmower. I'm looking at you crazy because you got a lawnmower and your grass ain't cut. When would you like me to get started? Right? And he was like, man, you good. Gave me the money. And then I went to every single door without a lawnmower. If they had a lawnmower, I cut their grass. But then guess what? A couple weeks later, we saved up for a lawnmower. Now I got my own lawnmower, right? Then a couple weeks later, we saved up for another one. Now we got 2 lawnmowers. He hitting that side of the street, I'm hitting this side of the street. All these things that I learned in my life was leading me up to something. Because you don't need a lawnmower to get started. You just need to know how to cut grass. They got the lawnmower. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't look at what I don't have. I only look at what I do have. Exactly. If I don't have it, why am I focusing on it? I don't got it, right? Yeah. So eventually, my dad ended up kicking me out at 19 because I'm still getting in trouble, Lewis. I haven't really worked on the anger side of things at this point, right? And so, 19 years old, I graduated from LaPorte, Indiana, in LaPorte High School, and I'm sleeping in my car, no friends, no family. No job, no money, because he put me out and he drove off. Yeah. So now I'm stuck in my broke down 2006 Chevy Trailblazer, and the only thing I had at the time was my wife. That was the only person that was in my corner, right? And so she would come by every single day for hours, just sitting in the car with me, and she'd be talking to me. And at this point, I was really low because I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, don't nobody want me, bruh. My mom, she's sending me with my dad. My dad always send me back with my mom, or I'm always sleeping on my friend's couch because my parents kicked me out. Yeah. And every night she would come by and she would tell me, she'd be like, man, you're going to be a great man one day and everybody going to see it. Anybody who ever told you that you wasn't going to be anything, any people that ever tried to, dump on you, you're going to prove them wrong. You're the strongest person I know. You're going to be somebody. She told me that every single day, Lewis. And I'll tell you what, bro, I didn't believe her. The self-value, the self-respect, because all I've ever been told was I'm gonna go to jail, I'm gonna go to prison. You already go to jail, I'm gonna be dead, right? But anybody ever told me so? My life, I'm like, bro, I ain't got nothing to lose anyway. I'm out here moving reckless, because I'm thinking I'm either gonna die or go to jail. Yeah, I don't really have a future. And so this is what I had to realize, man. First thing is I love this woman so much that I was like, she's telling you you're gonna be great. And she the only person in your corner. If you don't start changing your life, you're going to make this woman look bad. How could you do that to a person that's in your corner every single day? She can't want anything from me. I don't have anything. Yeah. I ain't got no money. So, she ain't most definitely ain't with me because the dude is balling. That's not happening, right? And so I was like, I don't know what greatness look like, but for her, I'm about to go try to figure it out. So I started going to church. And I started trying to, get my life together, started getting a relationship with God. And what I realized was I was the problem, the self-accountability, right? And you have to understand that like, it's okay to change.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people will say, you know what, if somebody can't accept me for who I am, then I ain't gonna be with anybody. Well, that's why you by yourself. This is exactly why you sitting there eating ice cream and binge watching all by yourself, because people don't understand, bro. Change is change. Change is good. There's positive change and there's negative change, right? And so if you are changing in a positive way, how is that bad? If somebody that loves you is telling you, hey man, your temper's jacked up, you snapping on everybody, you're crazy, you're getting arrested, you fight all the time, who want to be with a person like that? I had and really when I was sitting in church and I was listening to this, I started to notice why my wife did everything that she did. Like when we went to Walmart, bro, my wife would be holding my arm all tight, right? Got me all, I'm like, man, she must be proud to be with me. You know what I mean? No, man, because she worried about you tripping on somebody. So if I'm snapping off, she already got me locked up. I didn't realize that's why she was doing that, right? Or I could not even go play basketball if one of my friends didn't come with me. Is Cabo going with you? No, then I think you should stay home because she ain't trust me anywhere by myself.
Yeah.
And I really started to change. And so when I was sleeping in my car, I was like, you know what? Other people don't get to decide how my story ends. Mm-hmm. The people that told me that I was going to jail, the people that was telling me that, I was going to end up in a casket. Now, these people, they cared about me. They wasn't wrong. Even my dad had told me, son, I've been to prison.
Yeah.
You going. This is what he told me, because I always got kicked out of school. He was like, man, you were so bad, you got kicked out of every single school you ever been to. You got kicked out of elementary school, middle school, high school. He said, man, you were so bad, you got kicked out of barber school. He tried to put me in barber school, bro, and I got kicked out of barber school. So he was like, son, you going, right? But like I said, they don't determine how my story ends.
Right.
And so I learned that you are the author of your own autobiography.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it don't matter how the story started. It don't matter about the middle of the story. The only thing that matters is the end. If I'm not dead, every single day I get a fresh 24 hours. Every single day is a fresh page. I get to choose how the story ends.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, so now I ain't got no job. What am I going to do next? I'm in this position. I got this woman telling me how great I am, and I don't see it. What's going to happen? I decided to go and be an entrepreneur. I got nothing to lose. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might as well be what I want to be. I always wanted to do sales. So, man, I would go to all these different jobs as a 19-year-old kid. Nobody hired me. I couldn't even get a job at T-Mobile, Boost Mobile, Anytime Mobile. I was mad as hell, and I was telling the manager, bro, they would hire crackheads. I said, bro, listen to me, man. How the heck could you justify letting that man sell this $500 piece of machinery? He ain't even got no teeth in his mouth, right? He gonna literally sell somebody a phone and turn around and rob him for it. He wasn't happy I said that. He kicked me out, right? Wow. And so I ended up taking a job as a 100% commission-based sales rep for a marketing company, sleeping in my car, selling websites, Google ads, Facebook ads. And I didn't know anything about that, bro. I just bet on myself.
Yeah.
That's it. And so my first year in sales, I made $21,000. My first year in sales, I made $3,000. My second year in sales, I made $21,000. And then my third year in sales, that company ended up hitting $1 million in revenue. Here's the kicker, bro. I was the only salesperson. Ain't with nobody else selling. What changed for me was a couple of things. One, I tell people that when I'm going through something that I feel like I can't beat, God literally sends me a baby. So, I'm sitting here, I'm working my sales job during the day, and I'm making $10 an hour on a night shift at a factory, right? And I'm like, man, I'm fresh off that $21,000 sales and for the year. I'm like, this ain't good. And my apartment's crappy. I'm staying in a crappy neighborhood. My wife ended up moving in with me after high school. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, now I got her living in this. Yeah. And I was praying. I was like, God, man, I'm working hard, man. I'm hustling, and I'm just not getting there, man. Please help me get to the next level. The next day, my wife told me, like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, okay, I need to get better. So that was the first thing that happened to me. I found out I was having a baby. The second thing is I had to understand. Remember, I said in sales, I had to go back to when was I successful in sales? That's when I was in high school. What did you learn in high school that helped you? I learned about self-accountability in sales. And I'm like, okay, people not buying from me. What's going on? I'm not putting it on the customer. I put it on myself. Yes. I started to realize I'm just not that good. I'm a street salesman. I can go out there and I can be funny. I can crack jokes and get the sale. But when you go into business as a young man and also as a young black man, bro, you got to have a certain cut about yourself, a kind of way that you handle your business, right? I was a young dude, and I'm going to talk to business owners who's been doing business for 20 years. They've seen 20 years worth of salespeople. So I needed to step my game up. So what I would do is, man, I would go into I would set a meeting. I would go into the meeting. I would get my phone, and I would turn it face down, and I would voice record that meeting. Right? When I got back home, I would listen to the meeting, because what I learned from playing football is how to watch film. You have to study yourself. You have to break yourself down.
Come on.
Right? What I was noticing was, one, I was not good at asking questions. People think sales is about talking. Sales is about listening and then asking questions based on what they're telling you. So when I got better at asking questions, I made more money. Because it's about having a conversation within a conversation. I was like, okay, this is what that dude was really saying. When he told you this is what he really meant. But since I was young, I wasn't picking up on that.
Yeah.
Right? And so I did that for every single meeting. So I always got better. I always got better because I was breaking myself down. Right? So then, now that I listen to the meeting more than one time, when I go back for the close, I already know what the pain points are. So I was able to close a lot more. A combination of those two things, and then adding on the hustle, now this company hit $1 million in revenue.
It's awesome.
And I was the only salesperson. And I'm not trying to say that I was 100%. That's the only salesperson I damn sure was about 80%. Right? And so my 5th year with that marketing company, bro, I found out that they was paying me out a bunch of money. I ended up quitting, and I ended up going to another marketing company, and they laid everybody off after 6 months. So here I am again. And this is why I'm saying, like the lessons you have in your life, the struggles you go through your life are lessons, bro. Because it was like God was preparing me for something bigger.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here, I'm laid off, right? And I couldn't get a job, and we'll get into that later. I couldn't get a sales job. And so I'm like, man, I'm going broke, Lewis. Like, I had zeros in every bank account, maxed out credit card, right? My car was broke down, AC broke in the summertime. I got court papers in the mailbox from my other marketing company trying to sue me. And then my wife woke me up and said, hey, I'm pregnant, right? When I feel like I'm dealing with something I can't beat, God send me a baby, here go another one. Go do something about it. I had a photo booth, bro. It wasn't even unboxed yet. It was still in the box. Right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I'm fresh off producing $1 million in revenue, bro. I know how to sell. You really don't need anybody to give you a job. I wanted a job because of the stability, you know what I mean? Because you got family, you got kids on the way. And the more responsibilities you have, the less risk you can take. Yeah. Right? When I did it the first time, I was sleeping in my car, I was by myself, right? And then my baby came. I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta step my game up. But like, you don't want to just keep taking these leaps, right? Yeah. But I'm like, hey man, all these doors is closed, but that means another one is opening up for me. Yeah. I just didn't see it. So I unboxed this photo booth. I had a conversation with my wife. I'm like, hey, I gotta start renting this thing out to make some money. She's like, go ahead, go for it. And so what I started to do was, to get clients, I would donate my photo booth to nonprofit organizations because they got a whole bunch of people that's in the room and they're rich, bro. They came to give away money. So I would go to them and I would say, hey, I got a photo booth. I would love to donate my top package, right? But I'm going to need marketing and exposure in exchange. So they would put my logo on the screen. They would give me a public shout out, social media shout outs, all that stuff. But it put me in a room with people that could afford my price. So anybody that booked me going to be able to afford it. And then that started to pop, right? But it wouldn't really change in my situation. Smart strategy, but it didn't change my situation. Here's what changed my situation, bro. I had to learn how to use social media or be homeless, right? When I posted about my photo booth business, it flopped. No likes, no shares, no engagements, nothing. Everything flopped. When I started to post about my life and what I was going through, that content spiked. I got this photo booth. I'm laid off from my job, and I'm not going to fail. That's the content that I put out there. That got me so much attention, right, that it actually exploded my photo booth business. Wow. So even though this is my 3rd year renting photo booths, man, my clientele is crazy. So I've been booked by Notre Dame. I do weddings at Notre Dame, Franciscan Hospital, Methodist Hospital, First Source Bank. I can go on and on and on with these high-end corporate clients that I was able to get, right? All from the content that I was producing, right? And so this is what I teach in one of my classes, and we'll get into it. But I tell people that an audience is 1,000 times more powerful than a network, right? Because your network is strategic connections, right? If you cannot provide value, they don't want to talk to you. They're not going to answer the phone. If you have an audience, it's an emotional connection, right? They're emotionally invested in you. you know all the people that's in your network, but you might not never know who's in your audience. You never know who's watching your content. They might not like it, they might not share it, they might not engage with it, but they always watching you, right? And so I started to get into this content journey. This is what happened to me. Since I started putting my story on social media, right? I like I said, my photo booth business exploded. And I started to realize the reason why my business is exploding is because I was vulnerable, right? I literally was vulnerable. Everybody on social media everybody on social media, they always share the wins. Nobody share losses, right?
Yeah.
This is the car that I bought. This is the house that I bought. This is how bad my woman is. This is the rims that I got. They all show wins, but it's really a facade. Why are you so obsessed to talk about all these wins and accolades and all this other, like, a lot of times these people are not happy, bro. They hurting on the back end, but this is the public image that they trying to uphold. With me, I was like, all right, man, I need something to stick. I'm just gonna put myself out there and see what happens. And since that happened, dude, nothing but good things have been happening to me. And I tell people, when you put yourself out there, good things happen, right? And so since my photo booth business exploded and people was really engaging in my content, they was asking me on the side when I was going to these photo booth events, like, hey man, can you teach me how to make videos like this? Can you teach me how to make content like this? I really love how your branding, your marketing. And I was showing people on the side for free and I wasn't even charging. I showed one of my homies, right? Just trying to get game because I believe knowledge is meant to be supplied, not denied, right? So I'm just sharing game with people. He was like, man, this is so good that you need to do a workshop and charge people.
So that's where it came from.
I was like, okay, cool, right? And so check this out, man. You have to create a personal brand, right? Because the essence of social media was meant for people, not for businesses. So if you're a business on social media and you masquerading as a person, you're not going to get that attention. I challenge everybody to stop hiding behind your business. Stop hiding behind the features, the benefits, the price, the rates, and you need to step out in front of your business and build a personal brand because people want to relate to people. People want to relate to you. Yeah. I can tell people right now, and I can honestly say I am the most relatable photo booth guy out there doing it, right? And so I started to put together this content, and what's super dope, bro, is because I put together a formula that makes my content pop, and I noticed this is what makes it spike, and this is what makes people engage my content. Yeah. I call this formula the vulnerability formula. Vulnerability equals relatability, which equals memorability. Since I was vulnerable, people were able to relate to me, and since they related to me, they remember me, right? That's the short version of the formula. Yeah. The long version of the formula, which comes after memorability, is attention equals money, because people will pay you with their attention before they pay you with their money.
That attention thing is huge.
Right. Attention and trust is the most powerful thing that you can have right now in today's society.
Let's start right there, because you didn't say a whole lot, but let's talk about that attention thing, because that's one of the things that I listen to people like Grant Cardone. He talks about like being everywhere. And talk about attention a little bit and how people can maybe a few things that people can do like on the simplistic level to maximize that and grab attention.
I'll tell you this. I will start off by saying that in a world of trying to get attention, this is what people are struggling with. Yeah. Because when I was broke and I didn't have no money in my bank account, I'm like, how do I get people to pay attention to me? Yeah. I started going on social media and I realized people doing trends, right? Whether they were social media trends or dancing trends. Yeah. I'm not doing that, bro.
That's
you see what I'm saying? I'm not about to be dancing. But here's what I noticed, because I again, like watching film, I started to break stuff down, other people's social media accounts. And when one of my videos hit, I need to figure out why it's hitting. What I noticed about other people's accounts, when they're doing trends, the content spikes. When they're not, it doesn't. So now you trend chasing because you have built an audience based off entertainment. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's bad, right? Because if it's equating to dollars, right, in business and leads, do what you do. Yeah. But I know tons of people, including myself, I do not want to be dancing for attention.
That's how I felt, because I'm like, man, there's a drive. I mean, I love social media. Yeah. I mean, and if you look way back on my Facebook, before the craze hit, I was doing lives every day. Like when I got in the office, when I'm leaving, Greg, travel to another basketball game, whatever. Right. And I was just filming my life. You know what I'm saying? And so when you see like maybe that next person and it's like they viral because they doing the next trend or some kind of reaction video to somebody else doing. I was just like, that's cool and not knocking them, but I just feel like that's not me.
That's
like,
right.
That's just not me. And it's like, okay, how do I do this and get that attention without having to jump out of what I feel like is natural to me? I can remember even on Instagram when it was real popular, where people was, doing a certain filter so the whole, like your whole grid can look the same. And I was trying to do that. And it's like, I don't feel like doing all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, what do you say to that person that's just like, I ain't trying to do all that. I think you was going there anyway.
Yeah, I was going there. But, like, here's the thing. If you want to get attention in today's society on social media while being yourself, you got to do two things.
Yeah.
You got to be vulnerable. Share your story. Share your journey. Share what you're going through, right? Because I teach in my class that, what you're going through is content.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I was sleeping in my car at 19 years old. 3 years later, I hit $1 million in sales. What if I vlogged that entire journey? Hey man, my name is Selah Brooks. I'm 19. Man, my dad just kicked me out. I don't know. I don't have a plan. But what I am thinking about doing is I'm thinking about pursuing my dreams as an entrepreneur, right? And then I go through the job journey, right? Getting rejected. I just got rejected by another sales job. Then I showed me taking a fully commission-based job while sleeping in my car, betting on myself. Then I showed the journey of my first year in sales, getting $3,000. Then I showed the journey of my second year in sales, doing $21,000. And then I showed the growth and the transformation of hitting $1 million in sales. Yeah. Bro, I would be famous, bro.
We probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Right.
Probably be on a yacht somewhere.
Somewhere, man. But here's the thing. People, they're so afraid of being judged. They're so afraid of people talking bad about them that they don't want to go out there and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Man, vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is strength. You strong enough to put that out there. You strong enough to show people. And vulnerability creates attention. The more vulnerable you are, the more attention you get. So since I was also broke and laid off and I had zeros in every bank account, I showed, hey man, I got no money, but watch me rent this photo booth. This is why people care so much about the win, because you showed the loss and you showed the transformation. Yeah. A better way I explain this is by, the movie Rocky Balboa, right? Rocky, we seen him get whooped on. We seen all this stuff, and then we seen the training montages. We seen him running up the steps, right? We seen, what's wrong with you, Rocky? It is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. We see all that, and then we see him defeat who we got to defeat, and this is that movie embodies the vulnerability formula.
So you saw the whole story. You saw the losses. You saw the struggle.
Right.
So like you said, the win means something to the audience now. It's like, let's go. It's just a movie.
It's just
let's
a movie.
Go.
But who don't like Rocky? I ain't heard one person say they don't like Rocky.
I ain't heard one.
Right? Because everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves feeling inspired. Everybody loves seeing the hero be the hero. Yeah. The biggest heroes got the biggest villains, dog. You see what I'm saying? Because it has to be a balance. Here's the second thing you need to do. The second thing is, I call it brand authenticity. You got to be yourself. You got to be real with your audience. Yeah. Vulnerability just creates the attention. It just reels them in, but your authenticity is what keep them. When I do my videos, right, when I'm on when I go to networking events, I show up like this. When I do my videos, I show up like this. When I do my vlogs, I show up like this. The key thing that vulnerability does for you as a person is it makes you way more comfortable. If I already shared the loss, I don't gotta hide nothing. Since I ain't gotta hide nothing, I ain't gotta be nothing that I'm not. I done shared being broke. I done shared my wins. I done shared my success. I don't gotta put up a facade. Anybody that tuned into the Selah channel or the Selah station, they know what they're gonna get. Yeah. But that's because I am myself everywhere I go. I don't be anything that I'm not, and I don't have to be, because I built a brand on the real, right? A personal brand should not expose you. It should reveal you, dog. Yeah. Right? When you see a lot of people, they get exposed is because they built a brand, which means a reputation, off fake stuff. So now we found out you really broke. Now we figure out that ain't really your wife. Now we figured out that ain't really your car. Now we figure out that ain't really your chain. Now people don't want nothing to do with you, bro, because we bought into something that was fake. If you start it real and keep it real, it's always gonna be real. And that's what I tell people, man. You gotta be yourself. Yeah. And the most important thing is you have to be yourself on camera. That is the hardest thing for people to do, right? So when I was going through my personal brand journey, when I was broke and I figured out, man, people, they don't like seeing the photo booth. that stuff, that content don't hit. They like seeing Selah.
Yeah.
I need to be in front of that camera. But here's the thing. I was struggling in front of the camera. I was stuttering in front of the camera. I was weird in front of the camera. You had to practice, dog. You don't get better at anything if you don't practice. So what I would do is I would walk around the house just talking to the camera, right? I ain't got no job. I got nothing but time. I'm talking to the camera, getting in front of the camera, talking to the lens, right? This was preparing me to show up online, right? Then when I started showing up online, I still sucked kinda, but what I did was I just started posting stuff to my stories because if the video was trash and I looked weird, it disappears in 24 hours anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just showing up.
Yeah, it's gonna disappear.
It's gonna disappear.
It's all good.
Right, it's all good, right? And so I started showing up on camera as myself. And so this is how you can do that. So this is an exercise. What you can do is, I need people to write down the 5 words that your closest friends or family members will use to describe you. Right? Your closest people, your homies, people who really know you, people who really know Lewis, right? If they say, man, you're funny, he's smart, he's savvy, all these different things, write those 5 things on paper, right? If you are not the same person everywhere you go, you don't have a strong personal brand. If everybody can't say the same thing about you everywhere you go, you don't have a strong personal brand. The reason why this is important is because those 5 things is who you need to be on camera. That's who you need to be because that's really who you is, right? And so I started figuring out all this stuff at my lowest point.
Yeah.
So I was going through a hurricane season, man. Like I told you, I had all these problems lined up at my doorstep, bro. And I just decided that for my family, I'm not going to fold.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn. And it's not about what you learn, it's how fast you implement what you learn. There's a bunch of smart, dumb people out here, and they walk around every day. They learn a bunch of stuff, they don't use it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Yeah. So as when I found out something works, you ain't got to threaten me with a good time. If I see something work one time, that's all I need to see.
Exactly.
Right? And so I would be testing stuff and I would be learning, I would test and I would learn. Right? And so when I figured out, okay, vulnerability and authenticity is in my framework of a personal branding are the 2 core pillars of building a personal brand. Right? And even in the Bible, there's a verse, and I might butcher it, but it says, chase a great name rather than great riches.
Good name.
It says, right, a good name. Who are you, bro? Those 5 things that people are saying about you, are they good things? Or are they bad things? Because you can have a good personal brand, you can have a bad personal brand, right? And so if it's all bad things, your personal brand is everywhere you go, you a-hole. Yeah. So guess what? You a-hole because that's the 5 things that people associate you with, right? But when you go to chase a great name, right, the money will come. Chase a great name rather than great riches. Yeah. When you put the money first, you're not worried about your name. Yeah. Right? And so since I started to figure these things out, man, when I was showing up, I was doing, with my photo booth business, I was doing people right. I'm showing up on time. I'm providing a great service. I'm doing things to build a great name. Because if you don't have a good name, you don't have money. Yeah. Right? And so I started to figure out all these things, man, on a personal branding side. That's what changed because I created a personal brand. So to answer your question, if you want to get attention in today's society on social media, the first thing that you need to do is create a personal brand. The second thing you need to do is figure out how to be vulnerable. The best part about a personal brand is you can be as personal as you want. Yeah. The reason why I shared everything that I was sharing is because I needed all that attention. All you had to do is just let them peek behind the curtain just a little bit. You ain't got to put everything out there on the table. You can show them what you want. Hey, like for example, my vlog series, I lost $2,500 in my business. I vlogged about that. Right? And the third thing is authenticity, man. Those 5 things that's on paper that's really talking about your personality, that's who you need to be on camera. Yeah. The problem that people have with getting in front of the camera is because as soon as that camera cut on, this is what they do, Lewis. And they they sit up. Yeah. And they, hello everyone, good evening. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's not who you are. Yeah. This is why people, because when I'm watching content, I'm like, man, that sucks. This looks stale. This looks dry. This looks boring, right? That people are trying to be professional. Yeah. This is the problem with being professional. People associate professional with those 5 characteristics that people use to describe you, right? People, they confuse what professional really means. If you look up the definition of professional, it literally means to be a lead at your job. This is not a pastime occupation. This is not a side hustle. I am a pro at what I do. This is my main paid occupation. This is why we hear professional athletes, professional actors. They are pros. Professionalism should show up in your work.
Yeah.
Not your personality.
Yeah.
If people write down 5 things, they're not going to, 5 things to describe, say, oh man, that dude is smart, he's funny, he's driven. They're not going to say professional. Because that's not a behavioral characteristic, bro. That should show up in your work. When I show up to work, I'm a pro. But when I'm on camera, I'm me. This is what I realized. I'm like, oh snap, man. People just like me being myself. I can get paid for being myself.
Yeah.
People relate to me for being myself. Vulnerability and authenticity. When it came to the content creation side, okay, now I created a personal brand. But how do I make better content? This is the question that put me on my content creation journey. How do you make better content? This is what I found out about that. It's all about perspective, right? That's one thing. But the second thing is you don't determine if your content's better. I don't even determine if my content's better. You know who determines if your content is better?
Just listening.
Your audience.
Audience.
They determine if your content is better. When people hear people say you need to create better content, they associate that with what's called production value. You need the best camera, you need the best mics, you need the best gear. Production value is anything that is used to make your content look better or sound better, right? We got mics, we got a light right here, we got tripods. All that comes together in the production value.
Yeah.
People think high production value means high content value, meaning the actual information in the video, and that's not true.
Right, right.
You can have a video with low production value. You don't have the best camera, you ain't got the best gear, you ain't got the best lighting, and that stuff can still go viral because the content value is so high.
You gotta get started.
You got to get started somewhere. Guess where I learned that from? My lawn care business.
Right.
Man, I don't even need equipment to get started. As long as I got my phone, I'm good.
Yeah.
So a lot of my first videos, I'm walking around holding my phone. I don't even have a tripod. I don't focus on going viral. I focus on adding value.
Exactly.
Because the value that I'm giving, if my audience is saying that's valuable information, then that's the information I'm gonna keep pushing. I focus on value, because if you ain't got high production value, you better have high content value. What are you putting in your videos?
Exactly.
When people watch your content, do they feel like they've been served? Do they feel like do they feel like that time was well spent watching that video? And I get to the point. When I'm doing my content, I get straight to it.
Exactly.
Because the attention span. And if people realize that when I watch this person's content, he gets straight to the point, it actually hooks them on your content. They're gonna want to watch more of your content.
That's a good one right there.
So when I'm like, I'll give you an example, right? A lot of people go live. When I go live, I get straight into the video.
That's a good one.
This is how people go live. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put in the chat where you came in from.
I think I did that this morning.
Oh, okay, all right. Maybe I did watch a lot. I don't remember seeing that, but I'll be so in tune to your content that maybe I just blocked it out. But guess what? I learned. It's a guy. His name is Omar El Takari. I be taking his classes.
Oh,
He's on YouTube, all kind of stuff, right? And he talks about prioritizing the content or the replay value.
Yeah.
Prioritize the replay value in your lives, and that's how people will watch your lives. When you go live, more people are going to watch your live after you go live. Your lives turns into a reel. So if I'm watching a reel and I see good morning, scroll.
Oh.
People wonder why live don't work. Live don't work. No, you don't work. Your tactics don't work. Your strategy don't work. Your approach don't work. It's self-accountability, right? You got people who go live every single day. They lives working. These people get into the video. So when I went live, hey man, I want to announce my company, True Version Media, right?
Yes.
I get straight into the video because some people say, hey, we're going to wait 5 minutes to let everybody get in. On a reel, scroll. I ain't waiting 5 minutes for nothing. I don't even want to wait 5 minutes for the food to get done in a microwave.
That might be 5 minutes before a webinar.
Exactly.
not a reel.
So I started learning these things. And guess
good.
what, man? This is what I learned from creating a personal brand and content creation. You can get paid even if you don't have a big audience. I don't have a big audience. On my personal Facebook page, I got like 3,000 people. On my Instagram, I got 1,000 people. But my photo booth business is going crazy, right? None of my videos are viral. Not one viral video, but these videos make me money. because you do not need a huge audience to get paid. What I teach people is you can have one person pay you one time, and you still get paid. 10 people can pay you one time, you still get paid. You can have 5,000 people pay you one time, you still get paid. What's the point, Selah? What's the elbow? The point is that in our society, none of those numbers is a lot, right? But you don't need a huge audience to get paid. I would take 5,000 clients right now. If 5,000 people decide to pay me, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All you have to do is create a personal brand of people. They like you, they trust you, they can relate to you, and they engage in your content and they follow you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is create an offer, bro, and you're going to get paid. And I know this. These are all things that happened to me on my journey. Here's another benefit from creating a personal brand using the vulnerability formula. Because remember I told you never know who's in your audience?
Yeah.
Okay, so to touch back on the vlog series I was telling you about, I shared a loss. Again, the vulnerability formula. It doesn't have to be huge vulnerability. I'm not talking about I got laid off. I'm talking about money that I lost in my business because on social media, people will only show you the money that they made. They won't tell you about the money that they lost. I started a vlog series. I lost $2,500 in my photo booth business because I don't have enough photo booths to take on the work. I am on a mission to generate $5,000 to buy another photo booth to keep growing my business. And I showed the journey. None of those videos went viral, bro. The first one, it didn't really perform that well, but I just kept doing the vlog series. I kept putting it out there. Now check this out. There's a company that I bought my photo booth from. It's called Photo Booth Supply Company. They have 57,000 followers on social media. Remember I told you never know who's in your audience? Bro, they was engaging in my content. I got a small Instagram page. They got 57,000 followers. Why they engaging in my content? Because one, I was being vulnerable, and I focus on adding value, not going viral. I'm just putting out valuable information. There is not one other photo booth account on social media that got a vlog series. I'm the only one. I just created a whole nother type of form of content for an entire industry by being vulnerable. You can't find any other vlog series for photo booths. This is what happened to me, Lewis. I completed the challenge. The whole challenge, they were engaging my content. Loving this series. Can't wait to the next episode. Congratulations, right? Because my money started going up because I was showing 0 out of 5,000, 1,000 out of 5,000. I was showing the money that was growing in my vlog series. When I completed the vlog series, bro, I got a podcast invite from Photo Booth Supply Company.
Wow.
It's a virtual podcast invite, right? And so they wanted me to come on and talk about the vlog series. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, I don't want to miss an opportunity. They got 57,000 followers on social media. And their podcast platform is a huge platform. Anybody with a photo booth watches this podcast. It don't matter if you bought a photo booth from Photo Booth Supply Co or not. Any photo booth you got, you watch the podcast.
That's awesome.
So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a formula that has not failed me, the vulnerability formula. I went on there. I told my story. I was laid off. I had zeros in every bank account. I couldn't get a job. I went broke and decided to use this photo booth, and this photo booth got me up out my situation. Yeah. Right? That podcast did so good, man. Wow. Right? It had a huge impact on people. My DMs was blowing up, all kind of stuff. That podcast had such a huge impact on people. A couple of days later, they invited me to be an influencer with their product. So then I created an educational YouTube channel, right? I got a commission link, and when people purchase photo booths, I get paid. I open up a whole nother revenue stream for my business just from being vulnerable, putting myself out there, and then showing the journey. It worked. Now, did I go viral? Did I get rich? No. But I have a whole nother revenue stream for my business that wouldn't have happened without that vlog series. Here's the biggest elbow. Here's the biggest thing that I tell people. At the time that I became an influencer with this company, because I have a success story with the product, guess how many followers I had, bro?
Not many.
309. Not a million, not 100,000, 309. You do not need a huge audience to get paid, bro. Who am I influencing? I got 309 followers. This is also what I learned from that experience. We have to stop looking at words as just words. Words are powerful. They mean things. The people who put together social media and that started social media, they understood this. Let me explain. I'm going to break it down to you, right? Your audience about to get $1,000 worth of game right here. Check this out. You got to create a personal brand, right? Like I said, we have to stop looking at words as just words. Okay, so when when you create a social media account, right? You go. It's called a platform. What's another word for a platform? A stage.
Stage.
Every time you create a social media account, bro, you're literally creating your own stage. Okay, now you got a stage. What does a stage need? A stage needs an audience. Who is in your audience? Do you know your audience? It's called an audience.
Yeah, yeah.
What does an audience need? What does the audience need? An audience needs a good show. What is a good show? A good show is where a main character takes a loss and vulnerability, right? They're called followers. Followers, that's powerful. Because guess what? Jesus had followers. Martin Luther King had followers. We have to stop looking at how many followers people got and and we have to stop equating that with success.
Yeah.
Followers don't equal success. There's a lot of people who have tons of followers, but they can't monetize their audience because they didn't build it on anything. They built it wrong, right? Because when you have followers, it's not about how many followers you have. It's about if they're loyal followers. Are they going to buy from you? This is why people want to use social media to make money. If you have followers and you can't put out an offer and people can't purchase your product or whatever you serve, then you don't have a strong brand and you don't have a loyal audience. I got 309 people on my social media account, right, at the time. And I put out an offer talking about content creation and a bunch of people purchased my stuff. Why? Because the personal branding.
Yeah.
Because I showed the journey. They see the success. I shared the losses and I shared the wins. So since I figured out how to create a personal brand, I figured out how to create content. A lot of people was reaching out to me and all this stuff. Like I said, I did I hosted a seminar. I don't know if I mentioned that, right? I hosted a seminar. So check this out. I put out an offer. If I hosted a personal branding and content creation strategy workshop, who would show up? 56 people raised their hand for that post. I was being strategic when I did that. I put it out there to check the demand. If enough people want to do it, I'll host a workshop. If they don't, then I won't. 56 people said yes. They didn't know it was paid. When I told them it was paid, of course some people didn't buy, right? But out of that 56 people, 30 people did. So then I hosted a workshop. It was a 2-day workshop, personal branding the first day, content creation the second day. I had 30 people in each class each day, and I charged $150. I made like $4,000. But I only got 3,000 people on my Facebook audience, right? So if you started to put it together, you don't need a huge audience to get paid. Start creating content. Start creating a personal brand. Start being vulnerable. Let people know you're a person. Start being authentic. Show up on camera as yourself. Show the real. Because people want to relate to people. People buy from people. We all know this, but we don't put that out there on social media. Because everybody always want to show the wins. Yeah. I just try to keep it a buck, bro. Anything I do, hey, here's the real. And I feel like this is why people would pay me. That seminar that I hosted, that was my first one. It did so well, I had to create a company called True Version Media to keep hosting these seminars for people.
Wow.
What I learned at my lowest point, and this is how God works, what I learned at my lowest point is actually the thing that's getting me paid. People have bad days. Yeah. Lewis, my dog, I had a bad year. I call this a hurricane season. A hurricane season is not meant to kill you, it's meant to build you. Yeah. Everything that I learned throughout that point is the reason why my foldable business is doing so good. It's the reason why I was able to create True Version Media, and which is crazy because I made $4,000. Man, that class was 2 hours. Man, that's crazy to me, right? And I learned this from being at my lowest point, man. Yeah. And so I challenge anybody, man. Put yourself out there. Good things gonna happen. Because this is what happens when you create a personal brand, bro. And when you start putting yourself out there, you become the product. Yeah. I became the product. People, they're buying a name. Chase a great name rather than great riches. They're not buying a photo booth. They buying Selah. Yeah. They want that Selah experience. Yeah. What's so crazy is because although I haven't even hit 6 figures in my photo booth business yet, but I got all these opportunities lined up, and a lot of them don't even have to relate to photo booths. Yeah. I'm getting paid speaking engagements. I'm going out there, I'm talking in front of kids. Yeah. I'm getting podcast invites. Dude, this don't happen to me if I don't show myself on who it really is.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening. I mean, I've been seeing you like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing, like when you have your mind set on something, because like, you know, kind of like how you started, and then there's just other opportunities happening. Like those other opportunities don't happen if you don't put that grind into that area that you have. And so, no, that is really informed. Just hearing about it, man, it's just really, it's helping me because my mind is over here going a lot of different places. Just hearing some of these things. I think the one thing that you mentioned something earlier about how you present yourself on social. No, it was the 10 cent thing.
The communicating value?
Yes, and it's like, okay, I got Tootsie Rolls for 10 cents, but I got 10 for $1.
Right.
Like that's something that sticks with me out of that. So, and I know I've had some different offers, didn't get what I was looking for. So it's more so in rephrasing it and looking at it a different way is what I'm getting out of that. And then what you said also, you mentioned how not putting the onus on the people, because and I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and they was like, well, these people won't buy from me, they won't support me. And I'm like, maybe it's you, or in my case, I'm like, what about, maybe it's me. It's 99.99999% never the customer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what can I do different?
Right.
Because I can't go home and tell my wife, well, they didn't, because then that's kind of like the weak way out.
Right.
That's sorry. You know what I'm saying? that's pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So, just hearing you talk about those things, my mind kind of goes in those directions, man. And honestly, it really fortifies you, because if you can learn to take onus on why I failed and why I succeed, and it's me, that's growth. You know what I'm saying? That's growth. And honestly, that's empowering. That's very empowering, because now you can do something about it. And then that's just on a natural level. Now we ain't even talk about, okay, the Lord got your back. With the Holy Spirit, you know what I'm saying? You have ideas and witty inventions and things that you can't fail.
Right.
You just got to figure it out. But it's not based on the circumstances. It ain't other people. It's you. And you got the Lord to help you. But the Lord ain't going to help you if you don't go take a step. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
But no, that's it. Go ahead, man.
No, dude, that was so good, because my favorite Bible verse is faith without works is dead. Anytime I can apply that Bible verse to every season of my life where I was losing.
Yeah.
Right? I was sleeping in my car and I made it. I was laid off and I made it. A lot of people look at where I'm at now and just think it happened by magic. No, bro. The Bible verse says faith without works is dead. What I learned from this is God don't move unless you move. People, they talk big stuff, they don't do big stuff. I want this kind of house, I want this kind of car, I want this kind of bank account, right? What work is you putting in to get that? What kind of faith is you putting in to get that, right? So when I was going through my hurricane season, Lewis, I was praying like 10 times a day. And then I would go to work, because God can't lie. His word don't lie. Faith without works is dead. You can have as much faith as you want. Yeah. If you don't put in the work, God not gonna do nothing for you. And the reason is because God is a father. Yeah. He's a parent. Parents don't like spoiled kids. If you got kids, anytime your kid asks you for something and you just give it to them, you just give them the bag, they're gonna fumble the bag because they didn't put in any work to keep it, right? God is not just gonna just give you what you ask for, because you won't be thankful. You're not gonna understand the hard work you put in for it. You ain't gonna fight to keep it. You gonna, hey man, my bad, give me another one. No, it don't work like that. God wants you to work for what you got, because it's already blessed. You just gotta work for it, right? And then once you put in the work, because he got what you asked for was right here. It's blessed. When you put in the work, it's already waiting for you. You just got to get there. Hard work and God's blessing will intersect at one point, which shows up as an opportunity.
There it is.
That opportunity, since you put in the work, you're going to take full advantage of that opportunity, and then you're going to blow up. It ain't magic, bro. I don't believe in luck. I call it opportunity creation. You create your own opportunities. How do you do that? By doing the work.
Man, there it is, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
It is.
So I'm looking at this, man. God has been so good to me. Because look, man, I'm 26. Yeah. Right? And I've learned so much at 26, man. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people, stuff. So I feel like certain stuff that I've been through and the lessons that I got from my losses and from my life, it takes people lifetimes to figure it out.
Exactly.
You know? And so I know, and again, a formula. It can't fail. 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah.
Vulnerability equals relatability equals memorability. It can't fail. Hard problems gets beat by hard work and prayer. That whole formula. Okay, I'm down bad. I need to work harder. I'm about to work so hard, my problem's gonna go away. While I'm doing that, I'm about to pray so hard, my problems go away.
Yeah.
Man, dude, when I remember my wife came in the house one day when I was laid off, and she was like, "You get any bookings today?" No. The next day, "You get any bookings today?" No. It made me feel bad. So this is what I did. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna fail. I started picking up the phone and cold calling people, and I'm not moving from this couch until I hit 100-something calls, putting in the work. Since I did that, I was able to sell somebody a photo booth over the phone. Now I got cash flow. That money was used for gas money because now I got gas to go to networking events. I'm about to be the first person there and the last person to leave. I'm leaving with tons of business cards. People they want life-changing things to happen, but they're not putting in life-changing work.
Man, we gotta stay right there for me. We gotta stay right there.
Come on, man.
Man, because that's it, bro. Like, man, the thing that I talked about this on my live this morning.
Okay.
The bird, it's the simplest example, and I've been talking about it probably for the last couple months. In the entrepreneur meetings we was in, the birds, I sit on my balcony, man, and it's like, it'd be a whole bunch of them chirping like 6 in the morning, but then like you go out at 9, it's like that one that's still down there. He's still looking for the worm. Early bird, he wasn't the early bird that day. But what I get out of all of it is, like, God didn't just magically put the worms and drop them in the nest. Oh, that parent bird had to go get them worms.
Facts.
Like, there ain't no way around that one. If they just sit up there just praying and chirping, then worms ain't coming up in that nest. God made the worms for the bird, but he didn't bring the worms to the nest. And I think you could take that simple example, and it's just been speaking to me over and over again. It's like, okay, if I don't make no calls, I don't eat. But then there's another level of that. I was talking to one of my homies, man, that some time ago worked at AT&T. And he was always on his phone, and he would hit me like at lunch or whatever. But I just was asking him because I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my own professional development today. Like, man, what they got y'all doing, man? What's the system like? And he just started breaking that thing down, how many calls they had to make a day and how that's tracked and all that. And I'm like, that's why they multi-billion-dollar, you know what I'm saying, company, because of the amount of volume that they have to do every day. And then yet some entrepreneurs, they make a call or two, and then be wondering, well, this don't work. No, that ain't it.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I'm speaking to myself in some regards because I just try to take that and learn it and get myself to that next level. But you got to turn it up. How they say turn up? You got to turn up your production, your output, you know what I'm saying? So that more can happen. If it happened to you once, what Cardone say, 10x that thing.
Yep.
If it happened to you 10, it can happen to you 100. If it happens to 100, it can happen 1,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just powerful, man. And I think
is.
as bad as somebody might want something, like it's shown in your action. You can easily tell somebody don't want something. And I come from being a coach. I can tell, and I've been around it so much, I can tell walking in the gym. It ain't even, give me 2 minutes. That's all I need. I can tell. It's all kinds of body language, the way you look coming in the gym, the eye test, what you've been doing, like, you know, and I think it's the same thing in business.
It is. But what's so funny, because I play football, I play sports too.
Yeah.
Guess what, man? In some situations, you can't hide. Like I said, some people talk big stuff, they don't do big stuff.
Yeah.
Because that opportunity is going to come. And how you perform on an opportunity lets us know what kind of work you was putting in.
Yeah.
Right? I want to do this, I want to do that, there you go. What you going to do with it now?
There it is, man.
And if you failed, it's because you wasn't prepared. I do not believe in luck, bro. It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work, and God's blessing, it's going to come.
Yes.
And it's going to show up as an opportunity. The people who take advantage of the opportunity, ask them how many nights did they study? How much work was they putting in? How much TV was they watching? Because I guarantee you they wasn't watching a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, my foldable business blew up when I started learning all these things. Lewis, I ain't watched TV for 4 months, bro. I'm sitting up here watching the Lakers game. Man, they got their money. I had to turn that stuff off. These people living their dreams every day. I'm not watching. And the amount of time it takes to watch a Lakers game. No, man, I'm not doing that. It's personal development, self-development. Man, I'm so huge on personal development because, again, change is so, like I said, bro, I've been living for 26 years. If I can tell you, the main thing that I learned in this life, bro, is you got to change. Uncomfortability initiates change, right? If you're uncomfortable, you gonna change.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker about that. It's up to you to decide whether that change is positive or it's negative. The experience life gonna happen to you. Life be lifing. It's up to you to determine how you're gonna come out. You're gonna come out on top and be positive about it, or is it gonna affect you? It's gonna hurt you, and you're just gonna fall off about it.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
It's all about change, bro.
Yeah.
And so when I'm looking at the situations that I've been through, I call myself an adaptive learner.
Yeah.
I will take a loss, and it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna be down bad. My bank account gonna be effed up. I'm gonna have to downsize. A lot of stuff is about to happen, but don't judge me based on my situation, bro. Judge me based off my response. All this stuff happened to me.
Yeah.
Look at my life. Because I changed. Because knowledge is an asset that don't depreciate in value.
Yeah.
Anything that I learn is valuable.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to learn,
Yeah.
right? A master humbles himself enough to stay a student. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you look, it's tons of things that you can learn. What I started to do was a lot of stuff that changed for me. You have to be specific in what you learn.
Yeah.
People look, oh, I'm just gonna read business books. So you go on Google, you type in business books. They're gonna give you a bunch of stuff because that's what you asked for. And the same thing you asked for, you need to be specific in what you pray for.
Exactly.
Right? So you got business books and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the 10X rule, all this stuff. No, bro, be specific.
Yeah.
I started learning about finance business books.
Yeah.
Right? Finance business books. One of the books that changed my life was Profit First. Great book. Never took a horrible event again after reading that book. Profit First. Right? The second book, marketing business books. The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding, the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, positioning. I started reading marketing business books, right? And so I started to acquire all this knowledge. And again, it's not about what you learn, it's how fast you implement what you learn. The reason I was able to raise my price for photo booths is because I learned about branding. Right? You got people, everybody try to figure out, how do I separate myself in the marketplace? Remember I told you with my dad, like, people, you can't be scared of competition. There'll be a lot of people, they will let their fear and being scared of the competition stop them from doing something they was meant to do. How many people got a dream, but they look at it, man, there's a lot of people in real estate. There's a lot of people doing Airbnbs. There's a lot of people in insurance. And then they decide that they don't want to go out there and step out there. The market's oversaturated. I believe that's a loser's mentality.
Loser mentality. I mean,
yeah.
Chick-fil-A and, old Popeyes over there, we're going to just,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Nah, bro. When you people that grow up in the hood and it's a certain way, I don't care who out there. I'm going outside.
Yeah.
Man, they'd be like, the market oversaturated. Yeah, fool, the market oversaturated because I'm in it. Because I'm putting the volume that you talk. I'm hustling out here. That's why it's oversaturated.
Exactly,
and if
man.
you can't be out here, then you sit on the porch, bro. My dad used to say, man, big dogs go outside. Little dogs stay on the porch.
Yeah.
Right? All right, cool. So I literally started to just up my volume.
Yeah.
In everything that I do.
Yeah.
And then learning while I was doing it, man. A lot of people you have to learn. That's the difference between somebody who's winning and somebody who's losing. Grant Cardone said all you need to change your life is a little piece of information. That's all you need is information.
That's it.
I'm always trying to learn, bro. And like I said, man, because since I was so uncomfortable, I had to change. I had to change my temper. I had to change my habits. I can't wake up at 8 a.m. Now I wake up at 6 a.m. Now I wake up at 4 a.m. Right? Because somebody was Grant Cardone. He was like, man, you got to beat the sun up in the morning. And he was talking about you have to change. Everything is about change. You change the way you think, right? You change the way you speak, and when you change the way you speak, you change what you do. That's what he said. Like, he was like, what you think is what you say, and what you say is what you do, and what you do becomes your legacy.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I need to change, and it has to be a positive change.
Yeah.
We decide how we get the change. You have a situation, let's say you take two people, right? They both go through the same situation. Because I got a brother like this, my little brother. We grew up in the same hood, grew up with the same mama, right? Same circumstances, everything, but we two different people. Why? Because he also refused to change. He don't learn, he don't change. You take me, same situation, but I'm doing better in life. And it's not a diss. I'll tell him that to his face, bro. You got to change, bro. Stop hanging around the same people. Right? Stop clubbing. You have to change. Yeah. And what I started to do was, bro, I started setting boundaries for my space. Yeah. When you set boundaries for your space, your friends ain't your friends no more. Hey, man, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm married. I got a family. I don't go out there at that time. I don't do this. I don't do that. I'm not hanging around these people. They do not call my phone. A lot of people don't know how to be by themselves. This is why they would rather stay with toxic people or stay with people that's holding them down because they don't want to be by themselves. I'm cool with me.
Exactly.
Lewis, I can sit in a room, big dog, all by myself, and I'm straight. I won't be bored, man. I'm doing push-ups. I'm reading books. I'm learning. You got to be okay with yourself.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then you put yourself out there in that environment. Yeah. This is why personal branding comes easy to me. I'm not trying to please nobody.
That's right.
Man, I'm whoever I'm for, and who I'm not, I'm not.
That's good stuff, man. Yeah, man. Listen, this has been awesome. I really wanted you to get into, before we get everything closed out, your course that's coming up.
Yep.
Talk to them about that a little bit so they can know what's going on.
Yeah, so I have a course for this one, and so I host these classes. The first class is about personal branding, and the second class is about content creation, right? And so I get deep in the bag, and I teach people the vulnerability formula. I teach people how to create a personal brand, how to show up on camera and be authentically yourself for the personal branding side. Mm-hmm. For content creation, I literally show you how to create content. I bring what's called my content bucket. I bring tripods. I bring wireless mics. I literally give you the tools and teach you how to create content. And then I also teach you how to produce good quality content, right? So I get into these classes, man, and they're $150 a piece. I'm starting to do them virtual now, so I'm gonna do virtual classes. And I'll tell you what, man, like from the experience with True Version Media, bro, since my frameworks and the way I handle my business and I go out there and do stuff, it's so unorthodox, and it's not like mainstream, that I have people from marketing companies dissing my classes. They are saying that, man, these classes is cap, and that's not true. Because I tell people all you gotta do is put yourself out there and show losses. The people that's telling y'all that my classes ain't good is the same people that's not putting themselves out there. They don't got no content. Like that, right? And so I feel like, man, I'm fighting so much adversity to put my stuff out there. But this is really what it is, man. I try to always go to the Bible. People are haters. They've been doing marketing for all these years. If they create an offer, nobody's showing up to their class. I do one class, I got 30 people each day. What justifies him or what qualifies him to be able to speak on this? They do. The people that pay for the class justified and qualified me and say I'm qualified to speak on what I speak on. Yeah. Right? And so, and this is the thing, man, a lot of people, man, I think they confuse peace with passive. Yeah. Right? Because I'm a respectful dude, right? Everything is, excuse me, bro. You know, hey, man, my bad, big dog. I'm real respectful. So people they confuse that, and then no, man, that's not what it is. So right now, dude, I'm literally about to double down on everything. Hey. I got so for real with it. I started inviting marketers to the class. So I had people who own marketing companies, branding companies. One lady, she teaches a master class in marketing. She showed up to my seminar. She teaches at Benedictine. I got video recordings from all of them saying, man, this dude class was amazing. I've been in marketing for years. I teach at a master level class. I've never learned the stuff that this dude just taught me. And this is what I'm using to load up the clip, and I'm sending it out there to people and like, hey, bro, I'm really that thing. And I'll touch on one more thing, bro. The shirt.
Yes, please.
I got news for you, dog.
I already know.
Listen, man. All right. So I've been doing True Version Media, but unfortunately, I have to shut the company down. I had to shut down True Version Media, and here's why. Remember that marketing company I told you I used to work for? right? When I left with them, we got into a huge feud because I found out that they were playing me out of a whole bunch of money, right? And so they've been on my head for 3 straight years. So the reason I couldn't get a sales job when I was laid off is because they was throwing my name in the mud, dragging my name all through the dirt. Name a sales rep that just produced $1 million in sales that can't get a job. That's how bad that they were slandering my name. So I was forced to do the photo booth business. I had to do the photo booth business 1 year in secret because I knew that if they found out about it, they're gonna try to stomp on it and I won't be able to grow it. This is why I tell people I had to learn how to use social media or be homeless, because they was throwing my name around so bad that 95% of the numbers that was in my phone did not pick up when I tried to rent my photo booth. I didn't have a network. And in today's world, if you ain't got a network, you ain't got a business. But guess what? God's so good.
Yes.
That I didn't need a network to grow a business. What I needed was an audience. So I went out there and created an audience and blew up my business through social media because they can't stop me with that.
Yeah.
Right? And so that other marketing company, they stole my business name. I just found out a couple days ago. So I registered the name True Version Media, but on the website, the business website, it tells you to put LLC. So I did that, LLC, comma, was what they told. So that's what I did. It was a naming technicality. So they sent me the articles of organization, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if they sent me the articles of organization, I'm good, right? They're going to send me the business license. It's going to get approved. And so I jumped the gun, man. I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I rolled out the logo. I announced the company, all that stuff. My business name got rejected because of the comma at the end. So my business name got rejected. They found out about True Version Media, and they went in and they bought my business name. So again, growing up in Cleveland, bro, to handle beef, we use different methods. I'm a different person, right? I'm not trying to handle stuff other ways. I'm dealing with it a different way this time.
Yeah.
And so with this shirt, it's Psalms 37, and with this verse, it talks about wicked people creating weapons to hurt the poor and the needy. But they weapons actually are going to get used against them, and they're going to end up hurting themselves.
Yeah.
These people have been trying to break me and destroy me, bro, because one, they really scared of me. If I produced $1 million in sales and I used to work for you, you don't want me going out on that block because I'm gonna take all the customers you got.
Exactly.
That's the first thing. The second thing is they really upset because I gave them their first $1 million. My third year, my fourth year, they hit $1.2 million. Right? Since I left, they ain't seen no kind of money like that.
Wow.
And they see me doing good, so they mad. Man, you're not about to be doing good. So these people, they come from money. They got political power. One of them was a city councilman. So all they do is, man, they block business deals for me. They got all this stuff going on. And so here's the thing, man. This is why this verse is so cold, man, is because God said, this verse says God laughs at the wicked because he know their day is coming. I ain't know God laughed. That's scary to me. Right? And so these people, man, they wicked, bro. They literally have been doing everything in their power to stop me, to hurt me, and to break me. Name a person who don't have a network in a photo booth business explode. They tried to take a network away from me, and I still made it. They keep trying to kill me, but I can't die because I got God by my side. And everything that I learned in my life, the hustle, the perseverance, turning my hustle up, all I know how to do is turn bad things into good things.
Yeah.
So I walk around wearing this shirt to let people know, man, well, here's the first thing. I'm not backing down, right? Like, man, I don't go looking for smoke, but I don't dodge none either. I don't mind competing. I love to compete. And I don't mind being confrontational. And confrontational competition, if it ain't confrontational competition, it's not good competition.
Yeah.
So, now I have to change my business name. But guess what I'm gonna do? Here's the plan, right? Here's the first thing. Everybody that's saying, because God, remember I said when you put in the work, it intersects as at one point as an opportunity.
Yeah.
God gave me this opportunity. Here's what I get to do. I get to prove to all the people that's trashing on my class, because I weave my story into my class, they say it's cap. That stuff's not true. And they say I'm a hype company. They call me a hype company. I'm hyping people up more than I'm giving them information because I'm talking about what I went through. I get to prove that when you put yourself out there and you vlog the journey that you're going through and you start creating content around the season of your life, that stuff will help you blow up.
Yeah.
So them doing it to me just gave me content and gave me the loss that I needed with the vulnerability formula. They stole my business name. You can steal my business name, but you can't steal my spirit. You can't steal my hustle. You can't steal my swag, dog.
Yeah.
I am the source. Anything that anytime I come around, everything gets better. When I leave, it breaks down. Why? Because I'm in that thing, right? I'm the source. You need stuff you need to get to me to get stuff. So all this knowledge I got in my head, I'm taking this anywhere, and anything that seems like anything I put my hands on turns into something good, right? So I get to show that, and I get to also prove to people that you ain't got to get bullied. They trying to bully me.
Yeah.
When you have an audience, bro, you don't need a network. They got a lot of people that they are excommunicating me and they blocking me from business deals. A lot of people don't want to do business with me. All of them are clicked up together. Like I said, dude's a city councilman. Bro, he got cops, he got lawyers, he got all these business connections. Nobody wanted to rent my photo booth. Everybody's spreading rumors about my classes, right? But when you have an audience and you build a personal brand, you're going to be all right. So I get to prove that, and I also get to prove that when you got God by your side, bro, how can I lose?
Right.
This is God. I ain't say this.
That's a no-doubter.
God said this. That's on my shirt. I didn't say that, right? And so I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna vlog this experience. I'm gonna share my journey. I'm gonna share the loss, and then I'm gonna vlog how all this stuff happened to me. They stole my business name, but watch me still hit 6 figures with this company, and I'm gonna do a vlog series about it. This is the video receipt.
There it is.
So, dog, man, like, at the end of the day, like, I want people to know, man, what Selah Brooks was on this earth, he never folded. Anything this dude went through, man, bro, I got scars, you know, because they tried to Mufasa me, bro. They tried to drop me off the cliff. And they was, he gone. Now Mufasa walking around, dog. You see what I'm saying? And you gonna have to look me in the eye. Yeah. And they can't. Everything that they're trying to do. And if you wasn't scared of me, why are you trying to do all this stuff to stop a young black 26-year-old dude? Why? It's been 3 years, bro, and they still on my head because they know what I'm capable of. But I'm going to war with God behind me, bro. I'm going to take this, I'm putting it out there, and I'm going to show people. And then when all the dust settles, people are going to see that my classes is true and God's word is true.
There it is.
That's all that matter, man.
Period. The end.
Yeah. Man,
that's good stuff, bro. Let everybody know where they can find you, where they can look you up, social, website, whatever.
Yeah, so y'all can follow my personal Facebook page. It's Selah Brooks, Selah Brooks. Or you can follow me at Phenom Photo Booth, which is Phenom Photo Booth, if y'all want to tap in for a photo booth. But stay tuned because I'm also going to be doing a launch party to release my new business name. And then you guys can follow me on my social medias there too.
And listen, he was just at my basketball game. We just had our preview weekend for our league. He was there, so I got a lot of coaches that I know listen to listen to my podcast and things like that. So if you guys need people to be at your games, they do that as well. So check them out. I've seen it firsthand. We actually just posted the pictures from our game the other day on my socials, so check those out. But man, anything else you want to share before we get out of here, man? I just want to give you the floor, man.
I touched on everything, man.
You did, man. You did.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you so much, man. This has been incredible. I ain't gonna say incredible. Change that word. It's been credible. You know what I'm saying? It's been credible. You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate you sharing with the audience, man. And I've learned a lot myself. I go back and watch some of my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just valuable, man. And I just think that being able to take that piece of vulnerability, I think a lot of people that's listening, it will help them to just be free from other people. The biggest deliverance you can get is freedom from people. When you don't care about people, what they think no more, you just be free and share your story because other people waiting to hear what you say or what you have to share because they might be going through what you went through or some other situation that your words and your vulnerability can help free them and get them to their next level. So, it's good stuff, man.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
This has been awesome, man. And we're just so excited. So, everybody, make sure you share this episode, share it with a friend, tag somebody that you feel like needs to hear this. But until next time, thanks for tuning in to InterviewU, and we'll see you on the next episode.